So I just want to show you real quick, I'm going to hook up these gauges. I'm going to show you the vehicle that is not running properly because of the compressor. You want to make sure this is closed, this is closed. So this is clockwise, this is clockwise to close this. This is counterclockwise. So we're going to hook this up down here. Make sure it's on there, make sure the O-ring's on there. We're going to get this, pull it off. We're going to hook it down here to the other location. Now it might be separate in your car. Now what we're going to do is make sure this line right here is hooked up to here. This is closed, this is closed. We're going to look at the pressure reading. This right here, we're going to open it by going, it's going to push it down going clockwise. Make sure these are closed properly. Make sure this is closed properly. Like this. So you hear the pressure. So it's going to pressurize the system. Pressurize, and we're going to get a reading right here. So what you're seeing right here is about 110 pounds on the inside. You see where it says 120 right there. There's 100 there, there's 120 right there. We're at about 110. This is the low side. Right here on the high side, on the inside right here, we see 100 right there and 150 right there. So we're about even. That's about 110, 120. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start the vehicle and we're going to see in contrast. I'm going to show you in the next segment another vehicle. So this is a bad air compressor, and this is what you're going to see. Now we're going to turn it on. We're going to turn the AC on. So basically, the low side and the high side stay about the same. You're at 110 on the low side to the left, about 110 on the high side to the right. Now it's a little confusing because this one right here on the right side is way to the right, this one's way to the left. But as you can see though, it's at 110 about. And also this one right here on the inside, looking at the black segment right there on the very inside, it's at about 110. And you'll see in contrast to the next segment that I show, how the low side drops and the high side rises. So this compressor is not working properly. It tells us basically that there is pressure in the system, and we know that the system is not leaking because it's been sitting like this for days. Also, we want to check all the electrical connections. Make sure the pressure is not too high, not too low. But as you can see, the pressure is high enough. Now in this instant, it just stopped working. It was working, then it stopped working, and we didn't add any pressure into the system, so we know it's not overpressurized. But we do know that the compressor's not working basically. We're gonna have to change the compressor. So this is what you don't want to see. You don't want to see even. You don't want to see high side and low side be even. So let me cut to the next segment where you see what a good compressor is looking like. All right. Well, I guess one last thing I want to show is to take this off of here. You want to turn this off, open this up a little bit. I want to back up. I'm going to open this just a little bit so it relieves pressure. Now on the low side, I'm coming down here, I'm going to turn it counterclockwise to close it, and on the high side I'm going to turn it counterclockwise down here, so counterclockwise, so it's going to seal it up down there. Okay, now I want to kind of block right here so it doesn't splatter in our face, and then we're going to open this and you'll see the pressure going down. I just don't want to do the pressure going down. then the next one is the high side. We're going to go down slowly. So this is relieving all the pressure down below where it's connected to the car. We already turned it counterclockwise. So relieve pressure here, relieve pressure here. Now we're going to go down below. So we turned it to close it. Pop it off. Down here. Pop it off. Now we're good to go. And we'll just do the same thing for the other vehicle. So this is another vehicle. I'm going to show you what it looks like in contrast to the other one. This one's working properly. The locations for where we hook up the connections are in a different location, but it's basically the same. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure these are closed. We're going to look at these. So we're going to open this one, make sure this is on here. So we're going to open this. That's going to pressurize it. And then this one, in this case, is back here. We're going to pressurize this one. Make sure it's on there properly. It's going to pressurize this one. And then we're going to look at the pressure on this one. So now you're going to look at the pressure almost similar to last time. But now we're going to start it. We're going to turn on the AC and then we're going to run it. So last time we were about 110 over here, and then on this one we're about the same right here. So this time we're going to check to see the difference of what we have on a normal functioning AC. Tell the AC is functioning properly. The low side drops down. Now we're at about 40 psi, and this one we're at about 175, 200. So that's what you're looking for on a properly functioning AC. And if you notice on the other one, the pressure was about the same. So that means it wasn't kicking on, it wasn't functioning properly. This is what you want to see with a properly functioning AC. So we're at about 200 pounds right here, PSI, on the high side, and we're about 35 to 40 right here on the low side. That's what you want to see. On the other one, you've seen it way up here at 110, and also this one at about 110. That means we're about the same. Now it also tells us there's no pressure loss in that system, but you can tell that the AC compressor is not kicking on. So on the other unit, we can pretty much tell there's not too much. There wasn't really too much pressure or too little pressure. It's just the AC compressor is not working properly. I know for a fact on the other car the AC compressor is not working properly. I know it's damaged. We're going to have to replace the AC compressor and vacuum and replace the components needed to replace. But this is what you want to see. So this is what it looks like when you hook up the gauges. And if it doesn't look like this, then you need to look further into the, make sure that the electronics are working properly. This is what you want to see. We're at about 35 on the low side and about 200 on the high side. All right. So that's what a good working AC should look like. If you have anything other than that, then you need to start diagnosing the problem. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe.